හොඳයි එහෙනම් අපි සූදානම් වෙනවා දවසේ පළවෙනි සෙග්මන්ට් එකට යන්නට සූදානම් good volunteer segment එක ආරම්භ කරන්න. අදත් මැදිරියට සුවිශේෂී අමුත්තන් කිහිප දෙනෙක්ම ඇවිත් ඉන්නවා. අපි බලමු ඒ කවුද කියලා. දිගටම අපි වහගෙන ඉන්න අපි good news radio.
Thank you, Vishmi. Ladies and gentlemen, now we move on to our first segment, which is the Good Volunteer segment. So, as you know, every Saturday we interview some of the amazing volunteers who visit the Foundation of Goodness, and we also have some esteemed guests on and off who visit the Foundation of Goodness. So, Saturday afternoons are where we sit with them, enjoy a lovely discussion, listen to their thoughts, listen to their beliefs, their thoughts on the foundation, how their experience has been. Some of our esteemed guests have been long-standing donors and partners, and some very high-profile individuals, and also not forgetting our amazing volunteers who go above and beyond, sacrificing their time and their money and efforts, everything to be here at the foundation to make a change, even in the smallest ways possible, to make a change in rural education, to make a change for rural communities. So today we have 4 volunteers on studio. They are Kavya, Anagi, Kasun and Nipuni. So let me allow some of them to introduce themselves. So let's start with Kavya. Right, so Kavya, will you be able to introduce yourself briefly?
My name is Kavya. I was born and raised in New York, USA, and both of my parents were born and lived in Sri Lanka.
Hi, I'm Anagi. I'm from Australia, but my parents were both born and raised in Sri Lanka.
Hi, my name is Nipuni. I'm from Australia, and both my parents are Sri Lankan as well.
You can have your own introduction. That's completely fine.
Hi, my name's Kasun. I'm also from Australia, and my parents are also both Sri Lankan.
All right, so thank you very much, Kavya, Anagi, Kasun and Nipuni for that introduction. So let's start with Kavya once again. So Kavya, why don't you tell us a little bit, maybe a little bit more about yourself, where you grew up, and how did you come to the Foundation of Goodness?
I came to the foundation last year with my brother, who had volunteered a year prior to that. Last year we were here for quite a while as my family knew Kushil, so they thought it was a good opportunity for me and my brother to learn a little bit more about this community. And especially because both me and my brother were raised in New York, so we don't get to experience this type of culture a lot, so my parents found that very important. As well as it was nice to just give back and help certain kids learn more about like conversational English.
So is this your first time or second time volunteering?
This is my second time.
All right, so you've been here last year before.
Yeah.
Right, so what made you come back for your second time?
I really enjoyed my experience. Last time I found it really fun, as well as this year I got to do it with my cousin Anagi, who I haven't been able to be with since we were like approximately 8 years old.
And that must have been a great experience.
Yeah, so it was great to do this and get to know her better as well.
Great. So how long have you been volunteering this time?
This time it was only for a few days, but last year me and my brother volunteered for about 3 weeks.
Okay, and do you want to tell us a little bit about what have you been doing so far?
So far, we've been helping in classrooms with conversational English. We've been playing a lot of games with the boys and girls online that help them talk and like ask questions. And we also get to provide a perspective on what our lives are like in America or Australia.
Was language ever a barrier for you?
Yes, as I don't know how to speak Sinhala, but I've been able to learn a little bit of Sinhala through this, as well as it's been very helpful to like help them improve their English.
All right, and maybe you can tell us a little bit about what you're doing right now.
Right now, after this, we're going to another English class, but we've also helped with swimming, which was very fun and very rewarding. And last year I had a lot of fun helping with the preschool as well, and that was one of my favorite things.
Yes, the preschool usually is a favorite. So, did you see the new preschool that was built?
I haven't yet.
Oh, you should. It's definitely transformed the whole place, and it looks lovely. Right, and we have Anagi with us. Anagi, is this your first time?
Yeah, this is my first time at the foundation.
So I'm guessing you heard about the foundation from your cousin?
Yes, I did.
Right. And what made you come and volunteer?
Well, I've heard such good things about it from her and her family, and my mum, who's her mum's sister, thought it would be a great idea to come, especially because I don't experience a lot of Sri Lankan culture back home. So this was a way for me to experience Sri Lankan culture while also helping teach English, which is my only language. So it's great to pick up some Sinhalese from the kids and learn a bit from them.
So were you born and raised in Australia?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Melbourne, so I've been there all my life.
Oh, right. And then do you get to come to Sri Lanka often, or?
I come to Sri Lanka. I hadn't been here since 2023, and before that I hadn't been for a really long time because of COVID. But we used to come every 2 years or so for most of my life.
So you're somewhat familiar with the...
Yeah, I'm somewhat familiar with the culture, and my parents both are very Sri Lankan. They serve us food, rice and curry every Sunday, and there was attempts to take us to Dhamma class, but that never worked out. So yeah.
Okay, and how was your experience? How long are you here for, by the way?
I'm in Sri Lanka for 2 weeks, but I'm only at the foundation this is my last day, and I was here yesterday.
Okay, so how has your short experience been?
It's been interesting and very eye-opening to like interact with people who I would normally never meet and never be able to talk to because of language barriers. So learning how to communicate without language and without being able to speak, but also being able to try and figure out how to speak as clearly as possible has been really helpful and really interesting to like learn more about, because we've had to learn how to like talk clearly so they can understand, but also I've had to learn how to try and avoid the Australian accent slip-ups that normally happen, make myself more clearer.
Did you find it challenging?
I've found it challenging at first, but I think because these people who we work with, they are so used to like trying to converse, and they often have to do what I had to learn how to do. I think I managed to pick up from them how to like speak in clear sentences and use proper language, I guess.
Okay, and do you look forward to maybe coming back as a volunteer?
Yes, I think I'd definitely want to come back maybe next year.
That's great.
Time.
Yeah, that's great. And we look forward to having you back here as well. And also I wanted to ask, was there any one particular experience or one particular scenario that caught your eye or like really made you reflect and think back, if you'd like to share with us?
I think we did swimming yesterday and we were at the pool, and I swim at home quite a bit, and to see a lot of kids swimming maybe without goggles but still really wanting to like put their head in the water and like actually swim was really interesting to me, to see how many kids were willing to give it a go and were willing to like try as hard as they could despite maybe not having the best equipment, which was a really good thing for me to see as someone who is really privileged with the equipment I get to swim with.
And what would you say the lesson you'd like to carry with you back home?
I think just gratitude, and also continuing that like determination to continue doing things even though they might seem hard, because many people here do that, so it's a good lesson to learn here.
Thank you very much. And now we move on to Nipuni. Hi Nipuni, how have you been? How long have you been volunteering at the foundation?
Well, thank you. I haven't been volunteering very long. This is only my second day, and it's my last day. We were supposed to arrive the day before, but it was poor, so unfortunately we missed a day.
Okay, and then how did you come to the Foundation of Goodness?
A couple of people have asked me, and to be honest, I don't remember how I found out about the Foundation of Goodness, but it's been on my radar for a couple of years, and I knew I wanted to come and volunteer. But like Anigi mentioned, like because of COVID, there were obviously I couldn't travel during that time. But I had been wanting to volunteer for a few years, so I finally got the opportunity this year.
That's great, and maybe you can share a little bit about yourself. What are you doing, and where did you grow up, and maybe a little bit about how often you've come to Sri Lanka, things like that.
Yeah, of course. I was born and raised in Australia as well. My parents migrated from Sri Lanka. We did come back to live in Sri Lanka for a few years. So I got to go to school here and kind of get familiar with all of my relatives and learn the language. And then we went back to finish our schooling in Australia. I've kind of tried to stay connected to the culture here by speaking the language at home with my parents and going to candy and dance classes and the hampasal. So I guess it's helped kind of be able to communicate and with my grandparents especially and stay connected to them.
And what are you doing right now?
I work at an NGO in Melbourne as a business analyst. That's my job.
Okay, and then if you were to summarize your 2 days here at the foundation, how do you find the experience, and what would you be taking back home?
I think it definitely exceeded expectations. I didn't know what to expect when I got here, but I did have a chat to the coordinator about, what sort of activities I'd like to be involved in, and I was just happy to be placed anywhere. But I really enjoyed the dance class I got to be part of earlier today, and just seeing everybody kind of enjoy the workshop. And I think the foundation does so many various programs, and it's really inspiring just to see how many lives it touches, and I'm just glad I could be a tiny part of that.
Thank you very much. And next we move to Kasun. Hi Kasun, and maybe you can share a little bit more about yourself, where you grew up and what you're doing right now.
Yep, so hi everyone. So I was born in Sri Lanka, and I moved to Australia with my parents when I was about 7 months old. We used to come to Sri Lanka every 2-3 years to visit our family. And I speak Sinhalese with my parents because when they moved they didn't really know any English, so that's how I communicated with them, which really helped me to communicate with my family here whenever I visited.
And how did you hear about the Foundation of Goodness?
So I actually heard about the Foundation of Goodness through Nipuni. She kind of, when we planned our trip to Sri Lanka this time, she's wanted to give it a go, so we both applied, and now we're here. And it's been a great decision to come here. Yeah.
And maybe, I believe you've been here for 2 days as well. So if you can just summarize what you have been doing the past 2 days and then how it made you feel.
Yep, so we helped out with spoken English, and then I did a bit of work with some of the younger kids out at the cricket field. And it's been great, just seeing the passion in a lot of those kids. They don't really have much, but they were able to show a lot of passion and energy, and it's something that I guess I'll take with me, just the feeling of gratitude, because I guess I grew up with so much, and now that I look back on my own childhood, I feel like I took my childhood for granted as to how many things that I had that these kids don't, and yeah, I guess it's very humbling to be a part of that. Yeah.
That's an amazing thought. I think most of us who grow up in rather privileged backgrounds, unless we come and see and experience, we don't try to think outside of how much we have, and that's when you realize, sometimes we do think that we lack this and that and certain things, but we actually have so much. So that's I think that's something that I think about all the time as well. And today I saw you helping Osunda with practice for his contest in impromptu speech, and you also joined the interview panel as one of the interviewees, right? So describe how that experience was for you.
Yeah, it was actually a lot of fun. Again, it's one of those things you kind of take English for granted. Because I've been exposed to it pretty much my entire life, I'm able to speak it so fluently, whereas, obviously he was very good with his English, but yeah, there were things that he was struggling with, which I hopefully was able to help out with. And even the kids that were going for the interviews, all of them spoke very good English. And yeah, it was really fun to be a part of it and just try and help in any way that I could. Yeah.
Yeah, but just to give some context, I think 6 months ago, if you saw the kids who were doing the interviews, they were like far not at this stage. So it took a lot of effort on their part in terms of confidence, in terms of hard work for them to get to this stage as well. So it's remarkable just to see the progress, how a short time like 6 months can make if you have access to opportunity. So I think the primary thing is most of these people around the villages, it's not a lack of talent or work ethic or anything like that. It's simply a lack of opportunity, and that's what we at the foundation are trying to do, to ensure that a lot of people have some sort of opportunity, at least a certain percentage of opportunity, which we have had the privilege of having. So as Kushal would always say, volunteering is giving your own time without expecting anything in return, and you guys have done that. So thank you very much on behalf of the Foundation of Goodness to all of you for committing your time unasked to uplift rural communities in Sri Lanka, and we really appreciate what you have done. And we also have Jumana here, so she's an up and coming radio host at the Foundation of Goodness. So Jumana, maybe you can ask a question or two. You can ask from whoever, your choice.
Thank you, Ms. Shashikala. And my first question goes to Ms. Kavya. And so what was interesting was the previous volunteers were British or Australian, and American was really interesting, and I'd like to learn the American culture, if you'd like to explain that.
Oh yeah, of course. Especially because I grew up in a town where there's not a lot of diversity, which I think also kind of cut me off from a lot of my culture, as well as I saw the differences in myself compared to like a lot of my friends. And on top of that, I live in a very small town, so it's like the same people throughout many years, and none of them share the same background as me or the same religious beliefs. So through that, I wasn't able to know a lot. So coming back to Sri Lanka has always been such a privilege. So I can talk to my grandparents and my friends and other people so I can learn more about my culture. And working at the Foundation of Goodness has been such a blessing, as I can also learn more about like how people more similar to me live. And like it's just a different point of view that I'm very grateful to have because of how I grew up in America, and I didn't really get that.
Okay, thank you. And my second question is to Ms. Anaki. And I believe you said that you traveled in Sri Lanka, like to Sigiriya and other types of places. So what was your opinion? Did you like it? And yeah.
I really did enjoy travelling around to Sri Lanka. In Australia, things are either less than 200 years old or very, very old. So seeing things that are like the same age as those really old things, being, I think, more open to be seen was really nice to see, because a lot of things in Australia are really heavily protected, so you don't have as much access to them. So seeing Sigiriya was very interesting to be that close to a part of history that I had been told about but hadn't quite seen up close. I really enjoyed Sigiriya and the views were amazing, but unfortunately I didn't make it all the way up to the top. So next time I go, I will definitely do that. But yeah.
Okay, thank you. And to Miss Nipani, and I believe you also stayed in probably 2 days in Sri Lanka. And during your days, what was your opinion? Also the same question.
Of the foundation here?
Yeah.
I thought it was very well organised, and everyone kind of, all the staff and the volunteers who run the place, I can see how dedicated they are and how much the mission of the organisation is at the front of their kind of minds. I can kind of see how how committed everyone is to the cause, and that's been really nice to see. I'll stop.
Thank you. And to Mr. Kasun, and you said that you taught some students here, right?
Yeah.
I believe all you guys did. So what was your opinion to help someone like that?
It was a really, just a really good experience, I think. Just being able to help, knowing that you can help someone even in the smallest way, I think was something that I'll take with me for forever, really.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Jumana, and thank you to all our volunteers, Kavya, Anagi, Nipuni, and Kasun. Thank you very much. We really appreciate what you have done, and thank you for visiting the Good News Radio as well. And with that, we come to the end of the Good Volunteer segment. Thank you, Jumana. Thank you for conducting that as well. Great to see how confidently you have grown to become a great host, the radio host, right? I've seen you the first day, and today how you hold the mic without any fear. Like the first time you didn't even want to hold the mic when we gave you the mic. So excellent, Jumana. Do keep it up, and would love to see you one day on real radio, Sri Lanka out there, or even TV, or whatever you wish for. Well done, and keep up the great work. And with that, I think we've come to the end of the Good Volunteer segment. Do stay tuned with the Good News Radio. We'll be here till 5 p.m. and we will be right back after this short musical break.